Hey, what's up, everyone? So, this is so exciting. It's our first Survivor podcast for Survivor Season 31 Second Chance. These past few weeks, it's been so hyped up on social media from the preseason interviews and everything. So, I'm so excited this is the first episode, the 90-minute premiere. Like, I'm ready to talk. So, my name is Rachel.
And I'm Alyssa, and we are high school seniors, and we like to talk a lot, so let's get talking.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with the introduction. They were all on the boat touring the Angkor Wat and then going around Cambodia. And then they see Jeff Probst, and then they do their first reward challenge, you can call it, I guess. But I love when seasons start off like that because it really gets the cast to hang out with each other and team bonding, like heroes versus villains. They did that awesome thing. And then even in Pearl Islands, where they had to go around the town to get their stuff, that really kicks off a season well.
I thought it was really interesting that they had each tribe split up into two boats, because normally don't they have them row in together, as one tribe instead of the tribes split up?
Yeah, that was interesting.
So that reward challenge, it was interesting, I think, because they really had to balance between getting all that they needed for the camp and being the first ones to finish, obviously.
Yeah, because it was a balance between getting the fruits and wood and those stuff on the main boat and then going to swim 100 yards to get the rice. And obviously the fruits and stuff will rot later, so you want the rice. So good for the tribe that got the rice.
I thought it was so funny when they were throwing down the stuff from the upper level of the boat, and Jeff Probst almost gets hit in the head, and then he says to everyone, "Watch your head." It's a good thing you thought to say that, Jeff.
Yeah, they didn't really emphasize this challenge that much. I feel like it was sort of one and done, and then it showed all of the tribes going to the island.
Oh, going to the island. You heard a lot of the people saying how deja vu it was, or how much nostalgia they had about the first time they ever came to an island, and it was quite interesting because it's a beach, it's a flag. It's always been a beach and a flag pretty much, but they still have this whole rush of emotion that I don't think you can ever really understand unless you play the game.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the whole Abby bag fiasco? That caused some drama this episode. And Abby's whole thing was she wanted to grow and not be the crazy, but I don't know, it's not looking too good. First episode day, first 3 days out there, she's already mad about this bracelet, mad on PG. I don't know.
I thought it was really interesting because she keeps saying, "Oh, I'm not going to be angry this time." First thing she does, gets angry. I think it was
Yeah.
kind of interesting because she says that she was searching through people's bags, and it's that's not something you do on Survivor. It's their personal possessions. There's actually a rule against taking someone else's personal possessions.
Yeah,
So
then she was all like, I want to give PG the benefit of the doubt. Then she goes to every single person on the tribe and is like, guess whose bag I found it in? PG's causing some beef on the tribe already.
I think it was also really interesting. PG's excuse slash explanation, I don't know which one to call it. It was really flimsy. There was a bag with no name tag, and I wanted that bag, so I put my name tag on it. Even if you think a bag is empty, if it's already hanging up somewhere, it's very likely that someone else is using it.
Yeah, so do you think someone else could have put Abby's bracelet in PG's bag on purpose to cause up some problems? So Abby might be the first one voted out.
I feel like there's not anyone on that tribe who's known for being a troublemaker, and I really don't think that anyone would be willing to cause that much conflict the first 3 days just to get Abby out. Abby can get herself out.
Yeah.
Let's be real. So
yeah, I was happy for Cass. She seemed very calm, cool, and collected. The
mellowed
three
out a lot.
C's.
It's
Yeah,
only been, what, a year and a half since her season?
she wasn't causing any chaos yet. She was doing the palm fronds, weaving, hanging with the girls. So high hopes.
Maybe Cass will get her second chance and not waste it on being too chaotic. Because I think if she and the other people from the Brains tribe end up together at the merge, they're going to want her gone. Because there are quite a few people from Brains versus Beauty versus Brawn this season.
Yeah.
I think there's 4.
Yeah, those 4 people in the pre-season interviews, they mentioned how, those 4, they would want to get at least a few out, because if they all work together, which doesn't seem that, I don't know, it could happen, but they seem to have some problems because of last season, but anything is possible.
I feel like Spencer and Tasha would work together, but I don't think either of them would be willing to work with Cass.
Yeah, Spencer and Tasha were close on Cagayan.
Who's the 4th person from Cagayan?
Woo!
Woo. Woo made
still
it to the top 2, but I'm still not entirely sure how, because he didn't really do anything. Still kind of confused by that.
Well, he was confused at Tribal Council yesterday, so
No.
you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so moving on, the Jeremy Alpha Male Alliance, so it's Jeremy, Joe, Andrew Savage, Keith, and Tasha. So the 5 out of those 10 on the Bayon tribe. So before, Jeremy was always saying how he wanted to get the Alpha Male Alliance so that when the merge or whatever happens, that the other people would want to target Joe before they'd want to target Jeremy, so Jeremy would last longer. And this is I think a good plan for Jeremy.
I think that he might have made a mistake by only making it 5 people, because when you have a 5-person alliance, there's always that possibility that someone's going to defect and ruin your entire plan. I get that a 6-person alliance isn't exactly as stable, but it definitely gives you the majority, and even if one person does swing over to the other side, you still have the possibility of a tie. And I feel like with that many strong personalities working together, it's not going to be able to last long enough for them to make it to the merge. They're going to end up getting annoyed with one another, and they're going to pick themselves off, even if they say that they're the strongest alliance right now. So we'll see how that ends up.
Doing that would be good for Stephen Fishback, because right now in that Alpha Males, my fave Stephen is being his cool self. Couldn't break that stick with an axe. Oh man.
He's a Fishback out of water.
Exactly. That was a cute quote. I mean, Yale intellectual, I guess not that athletic, so I mean
he kept saying he was hoping he was going to connect with someone the way he connected with JT, but I'm not sure if that's the best thing for him. I feel like he is the kind of person who's really good at manipulating other people into doing what he wants. And if he uses that to his advantage, he'd be great, just as long as people don't see that he's being the manipulator, because we all know how those go.
Yeah, I feel like he's been dealt the wrong tribe. All these guys, Joe Cool, super great at everything. Andrew Savage was like, my daughters love you, Joe. Jeremy, Keith, and Keith was good at challenges. Jeremy's fit. Steven's the only guy on there that might be less athletic. And if you were on the other tribe, he could definitely click with Kelly Wentworth or Spencer and Shireen, those kind of people that are more intellectually savvy.
I thought it was so funny when Andrew was telling Joe how his daughters love him. That's just not something you say to someone. Hey, I just met you and this is crazy, but my daughters love you, so be friends with me maybe.
Yeah, I feel, Savage might have a little man crush on Joe. After they built the fire, and then Savage had his one-on-one, oh my God, Joe made the fire. I don't know.
They were all swooning over Joe, and it's guys, it's just fire.
Even Tasha during the Joga, hashtag Joga, that was a great hashtag.
I kept getting distracted by Joe's body.
Oh, same. But yes, Fishback searching for that idol, like, being on Rob has a podcast and everything. I don't know.
I'm
He
not
should.
sure if it's the best idea for him to be searching for an idol, especially since he knew that everyone knew he was searching for an idol. Like, unless you have something that makes you think that you know where it's gonna be. But speaking of idols, Kelly, man. Kelly.
Yes, my girl Kelly. She was my winner pick before this season started, so it's looking good for her so far. Like this new idol being put in the immunity challenges now, like so you have to work about whether you want to go and try to get it or if you want to not get it and ruin like the chances of it because everyone in the cast could potentially see you getting that idol. Then it's like you're not trying to help the team win immunity and you're just trying to think for yourself. But Kelly pulled it off so nicely. Like
She
that
was
was
so
great.
excited when she found that clue, too. Like, she thought she had found the idol. She was so pumped up, and then she was like, maybe I spoke too soon. And I feel like with Kelly, she got really lucky because there was one part of the immunity challenge where it literally was just one person doing the work. And everyone else was just watching that one person. They were watching Kelly Wigglesworth. So she was lucky that it ended up that way because otherwise I don't think she would have been able to grab that idol.
Yeah, I love the editing, how it kept showing her like looking back and she was like looked like she was so nervous and she kept looking around, like she couldn't concentrate on Joe and Kelly Wigglesworth doing the stick part. Like it was just great. And then she reached down there, got it, and no one saw her. So it's like
I
great
feel like
for
she could have
Survivor.
gotten it earlier though, because she was in the back right corner, I think, and it would have been really easy for her to just grab it as she walked by, but maybe not.
Yeah. Apparently, like during that, like they all have to be on the mat before Kelly Wigglesworth could have started. So they were all like rushing her to get up. So everyone, I guess, since she was like the last one, since she was breathing hard back there.
I think that the hardest part for her probably wouldn't be grabbing the idol, but putting it in a place where she could put it in her bag without anyone seeing it. Because I think she just ended up stuffing it down her shorts, and
Yeah.
that couldn't have been comfortable, especially if like they went straight to tribal council from that thing. So
Oh, true, because they didn't have anything. So it was in her pants that whole time, I guess.
oh,
That's
I
crazy.
felt so bad for that tribe during the immunity challenge because they had such a strong lead.
Yeah, I mean, it was nerve-wracking. Like the whole episode, I was on the edge of my seat. I'm nervous for all of them. Like, first voted off on a returning season where it's your second chance to, prove yourself, prove to America. Like, just a bummer.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Venus. I love Venus so much. She was my pick to win, and then he got voted out first.
Yeah, I love Vetus in Blood versus Water. I really liked Aris in Panama, and it's like, but just I don't know, thinking about it, it is sort of strategy how Vetus is really well connected, like Shireen was saying, through Terry from Aris in Panama, and then also with Sierra and Monica on the other tribe. So I don't know.
I feel like he wasn't voted out for his connections so much as the fact that he was doing a really, really bad job with flirting with girls. Like, come on, Venus.
Yeah, actually, when you watch that thing I posted on your Facebook, he was saying how it was like they edited it in a way that it was like he wasn't doing yoga, that much, his creepy yoga, and then
Yeah,
it was
that
edited in that way. But he did have a target on his back beforehand because, like, Shireen was saying how she thinks he, has ulterior motives in the preseason interviews and stuff. So I don't know, just pushed it over the
I feel
edge.
like they also probably thought he was a threat because Aris is one, and
Yeah.
obviously Vitas and Aris, their relationship has like been mending a lot since Vitas got over his thing with the heroin. And I feel like if anyone can tell you how to win Survivor, it's
Mhm.
someone who's won Survivor.
I know, which is so sad because now when Vetus is home and then his brother who won and then sucks for Vetus.
I
Very
bet you
sad.
that's going to be an awkward topic at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, so I mean, this tribe now though, so they're down Vetus, he's strong. So the other strong, I guess, Jeff Varner, Spencer, Terry Dietz, Wu, and Wigglesworth. And I mean, the others, they're strong, I guess. But like compared to the other tribe who has the Alpha Male Alliance, I don't know. I don't think it's good for Takeo in the next immunity challenge.
Spencer is a beast, though. Like, when he wants to get something done, Spencer gets stuff done. Like, he has the physical strength, but also, I think, the mental strength as well. Because, like, obviously, he was put on the brains tribe, and he was put on the brains tribe for a reason. And I think now that he's not competing with all of those intellectuals who are all, like, trying to be the boss, he'll be a lot more effective.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how this first vote out will like impact the rest of the game because it's always interesting when like Jeff is like, come on in guys, and then you can see like who gets voted out, then the other tribe's reactions. It'll be really interesting to see how Bion reacts to Vetus getting voted out, like a power player. Like will it like strict them into shape, being like, oh my god, you know, the game has started.
I think that they're going to be surprised because if we're
Yeah.
being honest, I honestly expected Abby to be the first person to go out just because she's not that strong physically. Emotionally, she's a wreck, and she's not that great at the social game. Like, she's great at getting people to hate her. I think it's very obvious right now that I don't like Abby very much.
Yeah, I think first picks for a lot of people would be Abby from Takeo and then Cass for Bion. So we'll see how that goes. And actually, so when watching the episode, I didn't really notice this, but then you know when Shireen was talking to Spencer and Jeff Varner, being like, "Oh, you know, Vetus, he has all these connections."
Mm-hmm.
But actually, in one of the preseason interviews where Jeff Varner was talking, like he was told the interviewers like his two pregame alliances, and so one of them, one of the pregame alliances was with Terry Dietz and then Vetus and then Wigglesworth. So they're all somehow they're all in the same tribe. And then the other pregame alliance he had that he felt really good with was also with Spencer, Shireen, PG, Wentworth, and so that would be their five. And so that's really interesting to see because I was like, why is Shireen just blabbing to Jeff Varner and Spencer? Like, wouldn't that give her a target if she's like, oh, you know, I researched Vetus, like he has all these connections. But then thinking about it, like that pregame alliance though, and then in the end, um, Jeff Varner did vote for Vetus to be voted out.
Yeah. I feel like Shireen was just, it wasn't even so much her information, but the way she presented it that was really intimidating. Because when you have someone talking at you and talking at you and talking at you, sometimes you'll say anything to get them to shut up, even if that is, yes, I'll vote for Vetus.
Mm.
So, speaking of
Yeah.
which, Jeff Varner made a really big deal about old school versus new school in the episode.
Yeah, and then he chose New School for this one. I don't know. He could be flippity floppity. We'll see.
He has the beach walkers and the shelter stayers, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out for him because
Yeah, so
old school is
apparently,
one thing.
one thing that didn't make the episode yesterday, which I think is a pretty big thing that wasn't included, in a lot of different sources, they're saying how at the end, where Jeff is like, does anyone else have anything to say? You know, Varner, he gets like stands up or whatever, and then he's like to Kelly Wentworth and PG, like, are you still voting for the person like we talked about on the beach? And then like both of them said yes, and they were saying how Terry was all freaked out like, Jeff, what's happening? So it's interesting that they didn't show that, but Jeff made a huge move there, like announcing like his alliance for this tribal out to everyone. Like he could flip back or whatever, but just interesting.
I feel like whenever people ask, are we voting for the same person? it seems a little redundant to me because unless you have specifically been told we are voting for someone else, the assumption is yes, vote for the same person.
Yeah, it's weird. Like he could be trying to use it as a way to propel himself forward in the game. Like, or he could use it as a way to like flip back with Terry and Kelly. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see when they get back to camp how that plays out.
I don't think that they're gonna like his flippity floppityness. When you have an alliance, you need a solid one, not a swing between two. So
Yeah, Jeff Varner is out there ready to play. He seems very head focused in the game. Like I expect good things from Varner.
So more about old school versus new school. They made a big deal about how much of a social aspect there was in the new school game and how old
Mhm.
school kind of lacked that. And I'm not sure if I agree with that as much. But what do you think?
Yeah, I guess we did see the divisions at camp, at least with like the Takeo tribe, how like Varner, Spencer, Dietz, Vetus, Wu, Wigglesworth were all like building the camp, and then the others were like more going out and like walking, and then like strategizing while they were walking and stuff. So I don't know, but I mean they all like Spencer and Terry Dietz, they went off at the beginning, and then Terry was like, "Oh, my son wrote up about all the Survivor players, and he said I should join with you because you seem like a good guy." So I don't know, but like they played, a lot of them played like 15 years ago, so it's crazy. And then the first like reward challenge was filmed on the 15-year anniversary of Survivor season 1. So cute.
Aw. I thought it was interesting how much the players like used their kids as an excuse. Like Andrew and Joe, my kids love you. And then the thing with Spencer, my kids said.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
it's like I don't know. It could be like a way to relate because they're like Varner's turning 50. I think Terry Dietz is the oldest one. He's like 55, you know. Savage is in his 50s now. It's crazy. So maybe it's like a way to relate with like the 26-year-old. So
I feel like that's a pretty poor way to relate, like rubbing it in your face how much older I am than you, but we'll see.
okay, so next episode, next Wednesday. So should we pick from each tribe who we think? So if each tribe went to tribal, who we think would be the next person voted off?
I think we should choose the tribe and the tribal, or and the person.
Okay, to make it harder to win. Okay, I
Yeah.
like it. Do you want to go first? I think.
No, you can go first.
Okay, you can't steal mine.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just talk through my like what I'm thinking. So the Bayon, I keep saying it Bayon tribe, I believe is stronger, and they'll be able to sit out another person or sit out a person at the next immunity challenge because they're up in the numbers now, which makes Takeo even weaker. So Bayon will be able to sit out like Kimmy or Monica or someone to help them in the challenge. So I don't really think Bayon is going to lose the next immunity challenge, but if they were to lose, I'd sort of be scared for Steven Fishback. I love Steven. Like, I really hope they don't go to tribal because his position on their tribe isn't looking too hot. So Takeo, I think Takeo will lose the next immunity challenge. Who will be next voted off? That's tough because I don't know. It really could be anyone depending on how the wind blows. I feel like the whole Shireen or not PG and Abby thing, like from the previews, it looks like it's going to be a big fiasco and they're going to have some more crazy Abby on the camp. So they might want to vote her out because she's causing a lot of problems. But then they also, it depends about their tribe morale and stuff like that. But then they could vote out PG because they want Abby there because then she'll be like an easy person to win against at the end. But I don't know. That might be too far thinking ahead. I don't know. And then the tribes are like it's a 6-4 vote, so then it'll be 6-3 now if they all voted the same exact way, but that's probably not going to happen.
So what is your final answer?
This is so rough. Um, I guess I'll go with Abby. I don't know. She's causing too many problems. I like PG a lot from China, so I'll go with Abby. How about you?
I feel like a lot of it hinges on the reward challenge. Like, I think if Takeo can, like, stop their downslide and, like, dig their heels in and, like, begin to, like, cohere as a tribe, they might be able to win the immunity challenge. But I think the fact that they've already obviously split into two factions isn't a good sign, especially this early in the game. Like, this early in the game, I feel like you should have an alliance, but it shouldn't be the primary factor when you're voting, because you do need to vote for the strongest players, just because that's how you're going to win immunity challenges. But I do agree with you that Bion is probably going to win immunity. But I'm not exactly sure who Takeo is going to vote out, just because I feel like Shireen might be a problem for them. Just because you have all these people who have seen Shireen sort of running around as if she's in danger when really she isn't. Like, she was gunning so hard for Vetus to be put off or to be voted off, when really there was no reason for her to, like, want that bad, because she doesn't really have anything against Vetus as far as I know. But I do agree with you that the PG and Abby thing is going to be a big part of it. And I know you said not to steal your thing, but I do think that Abby's going to be the one voted out. I mean, I do have a little bit of a personal bias against her, like a little bit. But last season, she tore her ACL, which is apparently the reason why she was so angry all the time. But
and then she like never did any challenges, and she was always sat out.
Yeah, but I'm not sure whether or not that was true. But well, not true, but I don't think that was the sole reason for her irritation. But I think the fact that she's causing all this drama and the fact that she isn't that strong physically will make her the next one to go.
I know, day 3, Abby, girl, like, you've been saying how you wanted to grow, and then she's gotta calm herself. Be like Chaos Cass, calm, cool, and collected Cass. So it should be interesting after. So then they'll be down to 18 people, and then apparently after 18, they're going to be switching into 3 tribes.
Ooh, 3 tribes.
From 2 to 3. That should be interesting to see how, but that could screw some people over, so that might be a problemo.
Do you think they're going to do the stone picking thing where they end up having 3 tribe leaders?
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, they could do something like that. But then I don't know, then that might cause like too many like biases in towards your pick, because you could totally get a tribe of 6 that's totally rigged of like people who you're in with. But then just drawing buffs out of a bag, I don't know.
I'm not sure if they'd leave that all to randomness.
Yeah, because then it could be rigged again.
Sometimes, like, it ended up, I think, in Beauty versus Brains versus Brawn. No, it was Red Collar versus White Collar versus Blue Collar. Only, like, 2 people switched tribes when they drew the new buffs, and I don't feel like they'd risk that with a group of people like this.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see, because, like, past 3 tribe seasons, so, like, Brains, Bronze, Beauty, like, the Brain tribe sucked and then got like demolished, and then they had to like split it up again. And then also in Philippines with Malcolm and Denise's tribe, their tribe sucked, and then they got absorbed into the other 2 teams. So it'd be really interesting to see if the 2 tribes like dominate and one just always goes to tribal.
I don't think it's going to be that way, though, because I feel like with Brains versus Beauty versus Brawn, it was obviously rigged against Brains, just because
all of the Steven Fishbacks on one team.
Yeah, like, Survivor is not a game meant for people who are purely intellectual to play with other people who are purely intellectual. Like Spencer said, it's not a chess game. And I
Yeah.
feel like if everyone was like Spencer, where they like are all in their head, it could totally be played like a chess game, but a lot of people aren't like that. So
Yeah, you have to be like athletic and smart to do like the whole physical, emotional, social game. Like it's a lot of components.
yeah, which is why so few people succeed on Survivor, and even fewer people succeed on Survivor twice.
Yep. So I mean, I'm so psyched for this season. Like looking forward to it. It's the first 90 minutes. I am already so excited.
I'm just really excited to see where it's going. So we'll reconvene next week to see what's gonna go down. So goodbye,
Okay.
Internet.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.